Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Time for something completely different. This is me in the cockpit of the Razban Aviate-B for DCS World and some air-to-air refueling. We're here at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. And we're going to have a quick takeoff and go and meet our tanker. It's going to be a KC-135 with MIPRs, MPRS. Those are the adapters on the outer wing that allow something with a probe to refuel from its drogue. So here we've got airborne in stable mode with the nozzles down, gear comes up and off we go. Now all the sequences have been shortened so that only the good stuff is here, and hopefully along the way we're going to learn a little bit about air-to-air refueling and a few top tips for getting it right.
Texaco 1-1 in field 1-1, request rejoin.
Now the tanker's only just got airborne from McCarran. So he's a little bit optimistic to be at 15,000, but there you can see him at the south of the map. But I'm a little bit heavy to be refueling, so let's lose some of this. There we go. Sorry, Las Vegas. So I find him climbing through around about 10,000 feet. And we rejoin to observation left. Now if it's a Brit tanker, you'll move to the front and wave to the captain. And if you're on an American tanker, I should technically just stay astern so that the guy in the boom position can see me. But here we go. Put out the refuel probe and we'll move to astern. Now ordinarily the tanker will already be trailing its hoses because it needs to run checks and pressurize the system. But here I have to move to the astern position before it's even moved the drogue out, which is a little unrealistic. The other thing you'll notice is with the MIPRs on the outboard of these wings,
Ready for contact.
cool, so I'm in the right place for clear contact here, but you'll see I'm stuck between the vortices of the wingtip and the engine exhaust of the outboard left engine there. Now I don't think it's particularly well simulated. I thought it had been recently, but it doesn't actually seem to affect me if I drift across. So here we go. Step one is to be in trim. You must be in perfect trim before advancing on the basket. Now I switch the sound off as I go to slow-mo and swing and a miss. Lesson number two. No matter how good you are, there'll be days where you just don't hit the basket. So I've talked about being in trim and stabilised. This wasn't particularly stable in my attempt. So I start drifting left, I look at the basket, and I start drifting across, so I bought that. Number two, or lesson number three, is don't formate on the basket. Pick something on the airframe ahead of you to advance on, because of course the basket goes behind you, and the only reason I'm looking left is to try and get a decent shot of the basket getting captured. Now that cheated a little bit because it helped me out, because I was close enough it kind of snapped into position. But I'm getting closer. Once you're in contact, of course you want to push the hose in so it winds up on the drum. I'm drifting back here on purpose here just to disconnect to have another go. Here's take number 3 or 4 by now. A bit better. And that's close, but it's just on the outside of the basket. The risk of that, of course, is if you catch the outer rim, it'll twist the basket. You might get a spoke situation. You might get it stuck on your probe, which is never a good thing. So here I'm live flying this. It's not a track replay. It's pretty tricky from the outside view. So here I'm using the top of the HUD glass along the hose seam to work out a treat there. That was close, but it's also a little bit on the rim. But not too bad. At this stage I get enough fuel, it disconnects me automatically, and I drop back. So flying from the outside, I'll put the probe in. I shouldn't be drifting left, I should stay astern. Check to the right and then move across to the right hand side, which is known as reform right. From that point you negotiate with the tanker on your departure clearance, and it usually involves a climb because you join the tanker from below and depart from above. And the guy got upset I was so close, so he banked towards me, so I do a little bit of lag roll action. Have some fun. And then close your eyes if you're easily upset, but of course he's the only airplane out here and I am a combat airplane, so it's always worth a little practice. Sorry. But I can assure you that no virtual pilots or crew were harmed in the making of this video, and you'll see down to the aft of my aircraft a couple of good shoots. Now maybe 3. So that was it, a quick and dirty reintroduction and practice for me in DCS for air-to-air refueling. But stay tuned and subscribe if you want to see some of this. I'm getting all arty with the camera angles. Some more of this. A little bit of harassing the airlines, which is always good fun. And some more of this. But I hope you enjoyed watching. Until the next time, I'll catch you in the next video.